Okay. The recording stopped in OBS. It's like, you don't have space, buddy. Now I do. We got 20. We'll worry about this later. But I've cleared up space, so it's fine. Problem is, these recordings are big. How long have I been going for? So, okay, yeah, we should be okay. You must mosey off to bed. It's been a long day. Yeah. Liz, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. I hope you get some good sleep, good rest. Have a good Friday and a good weekend. If we don't see you before then, have a good one. But thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Yeah. Thank you, Gwen. Once I'm finished, let's offer our prayers. Wouldn't want to disappoint our hosts, after all. Part of the issue, too, is I record these streams, and I'm kind of behind on uploading the VODs to the YouTube VOD channel. So I should also just do that, and then that would clear up a lot of space. The Hanu take their traditions seriously, don't they? I knew they wished for good harvests and such, but never imagined we Landsguard were in their thoughts all this time. This has been an eye-opening experience, to be sure, but I can't help but wonder why we're so important to them. Why allow us to use the revered god in the designs of our equipment? Aren't you a Landsguard yourself? And you ask such questions? Oh, they seem unhappy. Or just confused, I don't know. You're Gwyn, aren't you? I am Zuli Holly. I know we have you to thank for Ihihana's success, but even so, I must ask that you stand aside. You're in a hunch, of whom I've heard much. I'm surprised you have the gall to step foot into such a sacred place. Oh, they are mad. While the elders may sing the praises of the Landsguard, their minds have been warped by too many moltings. The new generation is sick of their careless chirping. You have to say your lines. Remember how we practiced? Oh, yes, I understand. We heard you complain when you took the feathers. We saw the disdain in your eyes. Someone with such disrespect for our history doesn't deserve to bask in Kikshai's grace. What? But I... He has been learning. To his... Is this part of the rite of passage? He's not so bad anymore. Yeah, he apologized, and he was actually I misbehaved earlier. I'm understanding why this is important. He's been growing. That may be so, Gwen, but he's had enough chances. We refuse to suffer this Landsguard to be in Akuhanu. Listen well and remember. The sacred likeness of Kikshai was once reduced to shredded reeds. By whom, you ask? Why, none other than Gulu Jaja, Dawn servant and founder of the Landsguard. No, the Dawn servant would never. This misdeed will never be forgiven. If you have any pride in your position, you should be ashamed at your ignorance and lack of respect. How will you answer for that? Yeah, you must answer, and answer well, or we will be very angry with you. I had no idea about this history of conflict. Why didn't Lanuhanu say anything? And why am I taking the blame for the past? In any case, we can't stay here. I have to think about this. Yeah, this has been an interesting little quest line. It's really expanded a lot on I think what the main story scenario in this area was kind of getting at. I don't see why Zuli Holly would lie, but how have I never heard of the Dawn Servant's affront to the Hanu Hanu? And why would Lanu Hanu act so proud to have his feathers adorning our equipment? I'm no good with numbers, but even I can tell something doesn't add up here. Learn more about their history. You might be right. It was my ignorance that seemed to set her off, after all. Whatever happens, I'd like to leave here on the Hanu's good side. Well, our best bet is probably to return to Okuhanu. If anyone can tell us the truth about what happened with the Dawn Servant, it would be Lanu Hanu. Okay. Well, we can just warp there. Oh shoot, I wanna take a quick moment to look at, to just like uncover the map of the northern part of this area, since we haven't. Alright, there it is. There's just walking trees. Okay. I don't see him, but the crate's not here either. He might have left already. Wouldn't we have seen him on the road if we had, though? The forest is vast, I suppose. Anyways, maybe one of the younger Hanu Hanu around here can tell us if Silly Holly's scorn is shared. Let's ask around, Gwen. Alright. Detective Gwen is on the case. Of course, every Hanu knows the story of the Dawn Servant's visit, but it might be more accurate to call it a rescue. For at the time, our home was beset by beasts and fiends. When Gulu Jaja heard this terrible news, he personally came to drive out every last one. Okay. Well, that seems fine. Zilly Holly said all that? Well, I do remember hearing that when our ancestors beheld the ruined figure, some of them viewed it as a terrible insult, even though they were saved. Could that grudge have been inherited by their children and grandchildren? I can't speak on such matters, but perhaps Lanu Hanu can. He's wise in our ways and makes an effort to befriend everyone he can. The likeness of Kikshai? My father actually worked to repair it. He told me that the Dawn Servant's slaughter of the beast was swift and brutal, but left many of our shrines and homes damaged in its wake. Okay. But what choice did he have? The fiends were at our doors. My father and his friends agreed that it was better to be alive. At least that way they could rebuild. What's the word, Gwyn? From what I heard, the Dawn Servant really did destroy that sacred figure. I see. I can't say I'm surprised that some Hanu Hanu would bear a grudge. So, Zuli Holly was telling the truth. Something still doesn't sit right with me, though. The Dawn Servant wouldn't simply go on a rampage and leave the Hanu to clean things up. He'd have more compassion than that. Nahanj, Gwyn, you won't believe what happened. Uh-oh. Oh no. I was surrounded by Zilly Holly and her cronies while on my way to the shrine. They stole the crate of feathers from out of my claws, saying no Landsguard could have it until Nahanj gave his answer. I assume you know what they're talking about. They said if you ignore their demand, they'll burn every last feather. What? Have they gone mad? Gods be good. I'm sorry. But can you go and stall them for a while? There's something I must look into first. Excuse me, sorry. I know what you're thinking, Gwyn. Isn't this going a little too far? I would answer that the results shall speak for themselves. Now we simply wait and see what Nahanj brings us. Yeah, like it's all like a ruse, right? Because he even hinted at it being with the lines thing. And Lanu Hano said earlier, they're like, yeah, this is kind of like a rite of passage. It's basically they send Landsguard to us, and they don't want to deal with us, like, and so we put him through this whole ordeal. I'll just go there and stall them as Nahanj requested. All right. I'm curious to see how this wraps up. Nahanj should be here soon. We were lucky to have you to spur him into action, Gwyn. And while our methods may appear rather blunt to you, wait until Nahanj speaks before you judge us. Wait quietly and hear his answer. Okay. I don't know why you make us wait so long, Nahanj, but I hope whatever you found was worth it. I spoke with the eldest Hanu in your village. He told me the story of the Dawn Servant's visit and the destruction of the Kekshaya's likeness. The whole story. It seems he, particularly the head of reason, was filled with anguish at the sight and offered his deepest apologies. To make amends, he devised a way to assemble an even more robust figure from the remains of the previous one. The head of reason is referring to the fact that the Dawn Servant has two heads with different personalities. So that's what they're referring to, one specific head. His work was done overnight, and the head of reason called upon the whole village to celebrate their newfound peace. For the first time in a long while, Hana commenced, and the Dawn Servant was chosen to ride the sacred float. After the festivities, the Dawn Servant said that when he finally established a unified nation in Tural, he wanted a motif representing Kikshai to be among those used in his soldiers' uniforms. He declared that different tribes can forge friendships so long as they open their hearts to one another, that his nation would be one where peoples of all stripes could live in harmony. His soldiers would become a symbol of that promise. So, you can learn for yourself after all. But you should have come here with that knowledge already seared into your memory. I know. I have no excuse for my ignorance and the petulance born from it. This experience has taught me so many things. And now, with full knowledge of this history, I'm filled with a much greater sense of purpose than before. I feel more keenly than ever that my duty as a Landsguard is to serve every corner of Tural. But to fulfill that duty, we must have our equipment. So please, I beg of you, entrust the feathers to me in good faith. He'll be a fine soldier. Don't you agree, Lanuhanu? What? They're like, we fooled you. It was all a ruse. Yes, indeed. That was quite the moving display. My feathers were standing up straight. Thank you for looking after Nahanch during his growth, Gwen. Anytime. I'm just here. My growth? What are you talking about? Why, this was all a performance. A performance to guide you along the path to become a worthy Landsguard. Your rite of passage is complete. So, my superiors weren't pulling one over on me. They were worried about me. I didn't realize my conduct was so concerning. Tell them what you told us, and their concerns will vanish. You'll be welcomed back with open arms. But before you do that, aren't there more places to visit? More materials to collect? We Hanu aren't the only people who love teaching lessons. Please, I don't want to think about that now. I was worried sick enough imagining what would happen if I couldn't get the feathers. Well, you've earned a bit of rest. Return to Okuhanu, and we'll deliver the feathers to you after the priestess has blessed them. That part, at least, was no ruse. If you don't mind, I'd like to go to Kazunoaki. I feel I should offer one more prayer to Kikshai. Very well. Gwen, why don't you wait at Okuhanu? I'll bring the feathers, and I'd like to speak with you once more before you go. Alright. I think we've about wrapped up this area. I really like this, though. Now that our rite of passage is behind us, allow me to offer my thanks for all your help. I would also offer my apologies for making you party to our little deception. I would have told you everything, but I don't think the ending would have been quite so effective if I did. I agree, and I'm grateful things went the way they did. The lessons I learned here will guide me as I become acquainted with all of Terrell's peoples. Speaking of which, the next leg on my journey awaits. May we meet again. Oh shoot, this is, yeah, Nahash is gonna be a recurring character. Like the corn. Cool. Alright. With that, I think we're good to go back. Gosh. That was a lot. That was good. That was good. Now we get to enjoy jazz again. Oh my god. The elephant head. Alright, Wuklamut. I'm here. And just like that, we found an elector and won our first keystone. I knew I was right to trust your instincts. Come on, let's keep things moving and march onwards to Urkopacha. Chances are good we'll find an elector there as well. Before we do anything, however, we should see what your opportunistic payload friend has to say. I've been waiting for what feels like days, and eaten enough of Brook Evu's tacos to feed an army. Dude, tacos. What is it you'd like to know? Our main concern was confirming the state of the road ahead. As I recall, to reach Urkopacha, we depart from the arch at the dawn, then take the road west at the first fork. Should we be wary of anything along the way? That is indeed the way to Urkopacha. After the damage wrought by the recent downpour, however, you'll be doing more stumbling than walking. But do take heart. When it comes to rugged terrain, we have a most dependable solution available. Come with me. Okay. I'm excited to go to a new area. Just to be able to explore a little bit. Oh my gosh. Right, hello raiders, welcome on in. How is everyone doing? Right, how are you? How was your stream? You were playing We Were Here, right? How'd it go? I played that like a few years ago with a friend of mine and I had a really good time. It's going so good. We are, we'll do some quick catch up. So my name is Gwen, if you don't know me, that's who I am. This is my Final Fantasy character, Gwen Rosalind. My namesake. Thank you so much for following, Noel. How are you doing? Yeah, so we are playing Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. We're pretty early in the story. We're still level 90 quests. I am level 92 because I've been raiding off stream. Oh, and Lethal Company, nice. Awesome. I hope we had a good time. I really like We Were Here. There's like a We Were Here 2. And then I think there's a third. I don't know if I played the third, but those games are a lot of fun. I enjoyed them. So early in the game, they have you split. You can go two different routes. I just wrapped up the like main story and all of the side quests in one of the areas, helping the Hanu Hanu. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the story and some of the lore bits. I've liked some of the theming within the story so far. There's been a lot of like respecting traditions and respecting like cultures and learning and like how important it is to learn about other people, which is like great. Love that. We are about to set forth into the like the second area with the Pelu. The Pelu, I think is how you say it. But I'm having a really good time. Early in the stream, we did some tower climbing, and I successfully, for the first time ever, climbed the Kugane Tower, which was really exciting. I'm really, really happy. Oh yeah, alpacas. We love them. I think we're gonna get to ride some. May I introduce you to our most dependable companion, the alpaca? Look at it. Look at her. And her. You would bite it. These animals can traverse Urkopacha's steep mountain trails as if they were gentle fields, and all while carrying heavy loads. Only merchants would be lost without them. So they fill much the same niche as our chocobos back home. You don't have alpacas in Eorzea? No. Alpacas are native to Yaktaral. Eorzea has its chocobos, and the Eastern lands have their horses. Oh, thank you so much for following. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I met a follower goal. Thank you also. That's 140. Let's go, yeah. I'm getting on top of towers, playing Final Fantasy, just having a good night. I hope everyone is also having a good one. Are we doing? Alright. Why go to the trouble of breeding another pack beast in a place which ill suits its qualities and where it's not needed anyway? But must we ride these little monsters? Wuklamont, we must. I get the impression you aren't fond of alpacas. When I was small and being a bit naughty, I went around pulling at their wool. One of them spat on me, and it was the foulest stench you can imagine. I see. Why do they like to ride? Alpacas bred as mounts are inquisitive and docile. Even those without experience find them easy to handle. Oh, I'll show you all after. But I like between last time I streamed over the weekend and this, because I didn't want to do any story, I did a lot of raiding. So I actually ended up getting a few mounts, a few new mounts. Really doing this then. I also definitely bought Mountain Dew. I bought mini bottles of Mountain Dew so I could get the Mountain Zoom mount. So was my information useful to you? Yes, very helpful. Even if it wasn't what I wanted to hear. Good, I'll take my payment now. You want me to pay you? Oh yeah, these, the Pelu Pelu I think are like merchants. I guess I should have expected as much. Let me see what I have on me. The Pelu Pelu value the act of spreading joy through trade, as you should know. They take pride in making deals that benefit both parties. Here you go, a fair price for your fair advice. Yes, I made a trade with the third promise herself. My friends will never believe this. Off you go then, and thank you. I better not get spit on again. You brought that on yourself. Remain calm and gentle, and so will they. I'm still not happy about this, but if we need to ride alpacas to reach Urkopacha, then that's what we'll do. Yeah. She's like, mm-hmm.
Turali poets of yore sang of a mountain that would stand tall, even should all other lands sink beneath the sea. Indomitable and eternal.
God, the graphics update for this expansion is like crazy.
Of all the beasts which crawl and fly, only the legendary Valigarmanda could hope to disturb the summit's serene majesty. Yet, with that flying calamity imprisoned by the Dawn Serpent, what great feat remains for those who would claim the throne?
So this is Urkopacha. I've never actually been here before.
The air is so crisp and clear. Mountains everywhere you look.
I'm glad I don't have to read. I've been reading a whole lot the last couple hours.
That one massive peak in particular has quite the presence. It puts me in mind of Som-Al.
That is Workor Sormor, the tallest mountain in Yogg-Tural. Its sheer height makes it an imposing climb. But there are other reasons the ambitious keep their distance.
Oh? Do tell.
Where to begin?
Excuse me, but you're Wuk Lamat, are you not? I hadn't thought to encounter one of the Dawn's promise here, of all places. But I should introduce myself. I am Bol Nok, a weaver by trade.
Well met, Bolnok. We're on our way to Watrin Bello.
Well met.
Truly. I've just come from there, as it happens. I'd asked the Pelu Pelu who sell me their wool to give me a tour of their alpaca ranch. The head rancher and I shared a bottle of mezcal while he explained the finer points of
I
wool
really want to
production.
get an alpaca mount. I feel like that's definitely got to happen at some point, right?
Mezcal, is that a local beverage?
It's an Urkopacha specialty. A spirit made from distilled agave heart juice.
Yes, and it must have done wonders for my mood, for I tripled my usual order of alpaca wool. They did offer me a discount, though, so it wasn't a bad deal in the end. But listen to me, boring you with my tedious stories. I will leave you before you are lulled to sleep. Goodbye, and safe travels.
Same to you.
Oh, silly me. I almost forgot to say the thing I actually wanted to say. Peace for Tural. I agree with your vision, Third Promise. You have my support in your bid for the throne.
So if you're not caught up on what this expansion is about, a little bit of a tournament arc here.
I gather from his tale we would be foolish to underestimate Pelu Pelu merchants.
It's a contest for the throne. Wukalamat is who we're helping, as she is hoping to win.
Yes, they do more than run the markets in Tuliola. Pelu Pelu peddlers can be found everywhere in Tural, traveling from place to place on their sturdy alpacas. They are effusive and engaging speakers, and many's the customer who's been talked into spending more than they bargained for.
They won't find this customer so easily charmed.
And I love Wu Clement. I think she's great. But the contest involves like going around to different like you know, societies and like cultures and groups of people, and I think like it's like retracing the steps of the Dawn Servant, which is like the holder of the throne, to get 7 keystones basically. So I've gotten 1 so far. This will be number 2.
It's right there.
All right, so we're in a whole new area. Yeah, new zone. Oh, there are alpaca enemies, so you could bite them. You could. if you had a bite ability, I guess. But Viper is one of the new jobs, so maybe. So anyways, yeah. So I got. This is the Mountain Zoo mount. So this is what you get for buying. If you buy Mountain Dew, you get points by redeeming the code under the cap. For 600 points, you get this. It's Mountain Zoo. I had to buy 3 bottles of Mountain Dew. A specific flavor, I don't remember what the flavor was called, but it was like a limited edition thing. So I got that, and then also, now that the game's like officially out, I have Garnet from Final Fantasy IX following me around. It's one of the best Final Fantasy games, I think. So that's cool. And then also there's the mount that came with the collector's edition. This thing is so cool, by the way. So I don't have flying yet, but like when you switch to flying, the mount transforms into the airship that's from Final Fantasy IX as well. It's so cool. Oh, and I figured out how to get the UFO mount. I didn't know how to get this, but turns out I just had to get caught up with the Hildebrand side quests. So I have that too, which is cool. So that's what the last few days were like for me. I was catching up on like finishing the raids from Endwalker and doing other stuff. Look at that polar bear. All right, before we continue story, I want to just explore a little bit. I'm hoping to like, I know it's like 2. I really would like to get to the first dungeon on this stream, but that might be pushing it. I don't know, so we'll see. Okay. No, there you go. Okay, we'll we'll do some question. Alright, Aaronville. What's up? This is it. Watching Palo, home of the Palo. Wuklamat should have arrived before us. That's not good. You've come all this way for the right of succession? Oh, so this means I'm exchanging words with the future Dawn servant. Please, the outcome is far from decided, but it is a possibility. How fortunate, then, that I deal in cloaks woven from especially luxurious alpaca wool. Such a garment would look magnificent when draped over the shoulders of our budding ruler. They are merchants. And a nation's ruler should dress her best for her adoring people, yes? Finery for our finest lady, that's right. Come, third promise, my well-stocked shelves are but a few steps away. Finest lady? I like the sound of that. Alright, I suppose a quick look wouldn't hurt. What did we just talk about? Erenville? Erenville just always seems so, like... Annoyed is not the right word. Just... not into it. Erenville, when did you... Maybe annoyed is the right word. A Chitona from far off. Zak'Jral? Northern winters are bitterly cold affairs, I'm told. I cannot imagine how you survive them with a lovely warm cloak of quality alpaca... Without a lovely warm cloak of quality alpaca wool. I can read, I promise. No thank you. I'm not in need of new clothes at the moment. And neither is the third promise. Perhaps another time. Of course. My shop door is always open. You were saying something about not being easily charmed. I was just... As I mentioned previously, the Palo people live for bringing happiness through trade. They won't cheat you or sell you defective goods. They will, however, disarm you with their deft turns of phrase, and unwitting customers like Wuklamat fall prey to this affable approach time and time again. Your only recourse is a clear and firm refusal. They won't pursue the matter should you make your disinterest plain. Valuable insight into the minds of the Palo. Let us all take Erenville's words of caution to heart. Sounds good. Not my finest moment, I'll admit. But now that we're here, let's do what we came to do. Find the Elector. Allow me to propose a strategy then. Cryo, Alizé, and I will speak with the merchants. Wuklamat, you and Erenville might try approaching travelers and passerby. And I'll just look good. Gwen, pray investigate any of the other establishments which catch your eye. Should we learn aught of use, let us relay it to the third promise. Okay. Alpha Note's still calling the shots. Electors? Oh yes, I've heard all about the Riddick succession. They're looking to put a new ruler on the throne, eh? Personally, I'm rooting for Zaralja. If the first promise wins, he'll look to expand our sphere of influence. That means access to more resources and more customers, in the thousands column, potentially. So many new trading opportunities to spread happiness far and wide. Others have been coming around to my way of thinking, so I've begun crafting goods inspired by the resilient sun. Would you care to purchase something? No. Very well. You said you wanted to know about the Elector? I could help you, but I won't. I can tell you're no supporter of Zaralja or his policies. You got that right. Hello there, I'm Mablu. Did you have a question for me? Yeah. Sorry, I don't know about any electors. You should take a moment to see our prized alpacas before you leave, though. Oh, but be sure to admire them from a respectable distance. Get too close and our nervous darlings may be tempted to spit on you, and that stuff stinks. It happened to a visiting buyer not so long ago. Tobley, that's the head rancher, was so mad at me for not giving a proper warning. No one makes a mistake without Tobley noticing. He knows everything that happens on this ranch. So, not an alpaca, but as a kid, I went to this like camp and they had llamas. And one of the other people that was at the camp got spit on by a llama. So I don't know how similar that would be. But that's what I'm thinking about. I think I was in like middle school at the time. Just a weird memory that's etched into my head. Please report that my stall is open for business. Yeah, gemstones. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. The Dawn Servant Selector? I thought you were a new face in town, here for the Riddick succession, I take it. Me, I don't much care who sits the throne, so long as they keep Tural peaceful. People tend not to be in the mood to relax and sip our excellent mezcal once arrows and spears start flying, if you know what I mean. Speaking of which, would you like a cup? A joy shared is a joy doubled, I say. Oh right, yes, you were asking about that elector business. Being that freshly returned from my trading route, I've heard that there's a contest afoot, but not much else. Our head ledger, Tobley, could probably tell you more about it. Let's go find Tobley. Or I guess we're gonna speak to Wuklamot first, but... You really have to watch yourself around these silver-tongued peddlers. I almost bought a bottle of mezcal, and a stack of blankets, and then there was this enchanting ornament. Anyway, I did manage to learn that Tobley is the man to talk to about the contest. Now, if only they share where this head ledger of theirs is to be found. Really? He's also the head rancher? Well, the alpaca ranch is not far from here. I say we pay it a visit before the others return. Okie doke. That is a lot of alpacas. Still, we know the head ledger could be here somewhere. What if the head ledger is one? I can't let fear deter me. Not to say that I'm scared, of course. Excuse me, is one of these workers Tobley? Tobley? Oh yes. He likes to mingle with the ranch hands and keep an eye on things. I can't tell you which one he is, though. You can't? Is this part of the contest? All I can say is that Tobley often mentions his favorite pungent subject. He also can't resist a profitable trade. Though who among us could, am I right? Still, if you bring him a very good deal, he might let his identity slip. So it's like a game. Easy enough. All I have to do is offer Tobley a deal he can't ignore. No problem at all. Well, maybe one problem. I don't think my purse is deep enough to pay everyone we think might be Tobley. Let's ask some questions first to narrow down the field. Great, we can meet back here to share our impressions. Sounds good. Well, obviously I'm not Tobley. I mean, oops, I shouldn't have said that. You're meant to find out for yourself who Tobley is, or if an elector is even in the village at all. Good luck. Thanks. A visitor from across the salt, if I'm not mistaken. Be warned, the alpacas will spit if you startle them. I suggest you keep your movements slow and deliberate. I'm actually curious. I just wanted to see if they actually would spit on me. This one's sleeping. Just taking a nap. Am I Tobley? Yes, that's me. Excellent work from the third promise and her entourage. Sharp instincts. Should we commence the rite of succession then? I don't believe you. You think I might be Tobley? Well, maybe I am. All I will say is that in this village, none have reared more alpacas than I. I see we're both done with our interrogations. So who do you think it is? I have my suspicions, but let's hear your pick. Oh my god. The boastful was the one that said that they were, right? Maybe diligent? I don't know. The worker's so intent on stable chores. I had my eye on that one too. Time to rip the mask off our mystery ranch hand, so to speak. We're probably wrong. We know it's you, Tobley, and to prove it, I propose a deal. A generous sum of coin for confirmation of your true identity. Wukelmod's like, here is 1 million gil. Or shoot, I don't remember, in Tyrol they use a different kind of currency, and I don't remember what the name of it is. Because it's been like 4 days. An offer I gladly accept. Oh, okay, we got it right. Great. As you've correctly guessed, I am indeed Tobley, head ledger of Palo, and head rancher of the family ranch. I am also one of Gulujaja's chosen electors. And a place featured in the Tuliulo saga, just as we thought. I was right to trust in your instincts, and I wager this won't be the last time. She found you out fair and square, Tobley. And I'm glad she did. Would have been a pity had her bid ended here. Now, what do we gotta do for you?
Deducing the Dawnservant's elector was the first step of the feat. Too simple a task for this aspiring ruler, eh?
Right. Not hard at all. Zorolja.
I am told the head ledger, Tobley, is to be found
No, yeah, Tobley's not here. But we're not really sure where he is, unfortunately, but he's definitely not here, right next to us.
You have to guess which one of us is Tobley. That's part of the test.
You're Tobley.
Oh, okay.
Without even asking a single question. Very impressive indeed.
Tobley is not very good at stealthing here.
With that amusing prologue out of the way, we can proceed to the actual challenge. Per the Dawnservant's instructions, I was free to devise any manner of feat. I considered a number of possibilities in the 10th column. But I think I have a good one. You must go forth and capture for me an alpaca.
Oh, heck yeah. Listen, Tobley, I caught so many chocobos in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Well, I've not had the
We're gonna do great.
experiences with alpacas. Aren't they generally docile creatures? That doesn't sound like much of a challenge.
Bring out the example! This is a special kind of alpaca. Would you please approach the animal, Third Promise?
Who? Me? Well, it should stay calm if I stay calm, right? That's what Erinville said.
Yeah, careful not to get spit on. Because I feel like that's very possible.
Ah! The little monster spat on me! Ah, oh, that stinks. I can't.
Oh my god.
Alpacas are paradoxical.
Ripped.
creatures, being both extremely curious and extremely cowardly. Press your luck when they're frightened, and you'll get a face full of spit, as you've all just witnessed. Has an awful stench, their expectoration. The globs contain half-digested food, you see, making it an effective deterrent against perceived threats.
Wild valley breed like this one are especially timid and can therefore be quick to lash out. They're also especially hardy.
Indeed. We take the rugged wild alpacas and breed them with our gentle domesticated stock. This produces the strong but beatable pack animals prized by our traveling merchants.
That's all well and good, but did I need to bathe an alpaca spit for you to make your point?
So, the task is to catch a wild alpaca.
That is correct. But be warned that it is a feat easier said than done. I suggest you prepare well before you enter the valley where the creatures dwell. And by you, I mean the claimants only. Allies are not permitted to assist with the catching.
Okay.
The alpacas will help me judge which of you is worthy of receiving a keystone.
So I'm to chase down a fluffy, spitting demon, and that somehow proves I'm fit to rule?
As I said, the Dawn Servant granted me the freedom to decide my challenge. And when you reach the end of the rite, I dare say you will understand why I chose what I chose.
Very well. This won't take long.
Wait! Didn't I warn you this was easier said than done? There are preparations to be made, factors to consider.
A beast is a beast. All yield to strength.
Zerolja, you're gonna get spit on. The alpaca's gonna spit on you.
So far, this experience has done absolutely nothing to improve my opinion of alpacas.
We're just like, I don't know, sorry.
But that doesn't mean I can't do this. Revolting spit aside, they're just another animal.
Are you all right, Orclamat? We thought we heard you scream.
The third promise does not scream. It was more of a startled yelp.
Scream, in other words.
Did you find the Elector?
Oh, we certainly did.
I do like that Cryle a lot of times in this is just like I'm here, by the way. I'm also around. I had to go and wash that nasty stuff off my face. I think I got all of it. Would you mind taking a sniff for me just to make sure? No! The stench has ruined my sense of smell. Hey, I saw that look. As Wuklamont helped demonstrate, the Valley Alpaca are wary of people. Getting close enough to catch one will not be an easy task. You might have warned me about that earlier. I have enough trouble with tame alpacas. How do you expect me to wrangle a wild one? With the proper saddle, we infuse the leather with a relaxing scent that soothes the spitting beast. Wonderful. Give me one of those then. Have you perhaps forgotten we are a clan of merchants? If you want a taming saddle, then you'll need to find a saddler and make them an offer. They don't come cheap, of course. Crafting a saddle will cost you the equivalent of 10 pel. Pel is the currency they use. In the thousands column. You mean 10,000 pel? I don't have that kind of coin. I mean, I do, but I don't know if we'll be able to use it. Converting to gil, that comes to around 1 million or so. Never mind, I don't. I'm actually very poor. Be happy if we all pitch in. No, this is my feat to accomplish. I wouldn't feel right about having others pay the cost. I'll find the money, somehow. In that case... The basket of wool is worth the sum you paid me earlier, 1 pel, in the hundreds column. Beginning with the wool, you can trade for ever more valuable goods until you have something suitable to bargain with for the saddle. Oh, it's a trading quest. That's a nice gesture, but you think I can turn 100 pel into 1 million? That's 10,000 times more. We need 10,000 pel, not 1 million. So we're looking at 100 times more. Oh, right. I panicked and got it confused with Alphino's million gil. I'm not so sure about this trading idea. You were almost talked into buying a cloak you didn't need mere moments after you arrived. But I just... God, I hate it when you're right. Then let me help you with your deal making. Oh, hello again. Mablu. I work here as a ranch hand, but I've also learned a lot about the peddler profession. It's alright if I aid them now, yes? I guided the claimants towards the first step of the feat, like you asked. As long as Wuklamat goes alone to capture her alpaca, she is free to accept assistance from whoever she likes. Hooray, let's see about getting you that saddle then, third promise. I don't know why you made your offer, but I could use an ally with a beak for bargains. Welcome aboard, Mablu. Should the rest of us stay behind, perhaps? It may be easier to haggle over prices without so many voices chiming in. Yes, stay here and pitch in with the ranch work. With Mablu gone, I'll need extra hands to tend to the alpacas. Gladly, although, Gwen, I think you should go with Wuklamat. You've seen markets and bazaars the world over, and surely have sage advice to share. Oh yeah, I'm an expert merchant. Warrior of light by... Merchant by day, warrior of light by night? Something like that. In that case, you should also hold on to the alpaca wool. If it's misplaced or soiled in some way, you'll have nothing to bargain with. As if I'd do such a thing. But I'll leave the wool with Gwen anyway. Better to keep my hands free. Sounds good. I'll protect it with my life. To begin, I suggest we try trading the wool to Havli, the saddler. He won't agree to the deal, of course, but it'll give us an idea of how much we'll accept for his wares. So I wonder if we're just gonna like get like a big scene where Wuklamat's chasing down alpacas. Oh my god. Oh shoot, side quests have started opening up. Oh, I wonder if the corn servants made it over here yet. You must be the artisan from Tuliulol. You're right on time. The damage that the caravan sustained from the storm must be evaluated as soon as possible. So I must ask you to begin your inspection immediately. I'm sure you know this well enough, but be sure to check whether any of the frames have been cracked, the canopies ripped, or the balloons on either side punctured. We cannot move the caravans until we know they are safe. Have care while inspecting the caravans. You will find caravans stopped throughout the settlement. You need but inform me when you're finished. Okay. No corn servant yet, but I trust. Why, hello there. Tell me, friend, are you not curious about the vibrant carmine hue of our traditional wear? A shade this vivid can only be brought out through the application of an age-old dyeing technique. Help me out, and I'll tell you all about it. In the hills southwest of here, which you can reach by exiting from the nearby gate, there are a few spots where sapped nodocactuars are commonly found. I would like you to collect precisely 2 of them for me. Worry not, I've prepared these 2 remarkably thick sacks that should get the job done. I appreciate your assistance. I wonder if these are the like crazy cactuars they were showing pre-release. The buff ones. Yeah, let's make our way over. This mount is so funny to me. So what a weird thing. Okay. Oh, these are just actual... As you force the nodocactuar into the sack, you notice a red substance clinging to its cuticles. What? Oh yeah, these are it. Okay. Oh wait, No, can't talk to you yet. I love that mount so much. It's just a cool little polar bear. Or a big polar bear, not a little. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the first dungeon. I feel like we probably still have a ways to go. Is the bulge in those sacks what I think it is? God dang it, game. Out of water. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get more water and just laugh to myself about this stupid line. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'll be right back shortly. Okay, we're back. Hello, hello. You know, the bulge in the sack is cactuars, probably. I don't know what you thought it was, but they're cactuars. Wonderful, my friend, wonderful. Frail as I am, I could never have hoped to carry back these oversized succulents. As agreed, I will share with you the secrets of our dyeing technique. Tell me, did you notice the little bits of red on their cuticles as you packed them into the sacks? It's nothing to be alarmed about, but those are in fact parasites. Oh, good. No, we love parasites. Once infested by the vilekin, the nodocactuar gradually weaken. Eventually, they wander away from their prickly peers and settle in the southwestern hills, though it's not entirely clear if this migration is of their own volition. When we found a nodocactuar completely sapped of strength, we brushed the parasites ailing it into a bag, dried them, and finally crushed them to extract the carmine within. I'm sure using insects to create dye must seem unusual, but when living in parched lands with sparse vegetation, one must develop a deep and rich understanding of all that is available. Deep and rich like the red of our dye. Didn't even give me any dye. My, you did a wonderful job. Though it seems some of the caravans will need slight repairs. I'm relieved to hear the damage was not significant. By the way, an artisan claiming she'd been beckoned all the way from Tuliolol to assist with inspections came to me moments ago asking for work. I was in such a hurry to have the caravans examined that I mistook you for her. Please forgive me. I'm just grateful you were kind enough to heed my request. The caravans are an innovation of Koana's. During his studies across the salt, he encountered something called a chocobo carriage, and had these designed in their image. By attaching the balloons on either side, the caravans are lifted into the air, becoming light enough for our alpacas to pull. It is an immensely helpful invention, allowing us to tread the steep mountain roads throughout Tyrol more safely and swiftly than ever. Thanks to you, we are one step closer to having our caravans ready for such travel once more, and returning to a sense of normalcy. You're welcome, buddy. Anything else? No. Okay. So definitely not gonna be able to get through like the first dungeon tonight, but I would like to try and get through this section. Like at least like this storyline here, which I don't think should be too terribly long. Something I can do for you? We've come to bargain. I need one of your special taming saddles to catch a wild alpaca. A saddle, is it? And how will you be paying for it? With our looks. With this basket of fine alpaca wool. Gwen steps forward. What use does a saddle maker have for wool? Besides, this would barely cover the cost of a single strap buckle. Offer me something I actually want. And what might that be? Mezcal. I like to nurse a cup at day's end while I inspect my finished work. Bring me a jug of quality stuff and you've got yourself a deal. This bodes well for us, third promise. Such mezcal can be had for only 5 pel in the thousands column. I like how they phrase this. Like, instead of being like, oh, that's 5,000 pel, it's like, oh, that's 5 in the thousands column? Hold on. Did you say third promise? Then my offer has changed. The saddle is going to cost you a jug of premium mezcal, aged 3 years at least. Oh. Oh, Mablu, you ruined it. 3 years. That stuff is valued at 10,000 pel or more. Or is that's 10 pel and that's 10 pel in the thousands column? Why have you why have you doubled the price? Because I must support the man of ambition who will see my business prosper. Zaralja will go to war, and his cavalry will need saddles. Lots of saddles. It's nothing personal, Third Promise, but I won't sell you my craft for anything less than my asking price. Okay. Well, can't say that I blame him. I'm known for championing peace, and peace is unlikely to bring him more customers. Those of our grandparents' generation remember the dark days when the clans were at war. Many of these Pelu pray for your victory, Wuklamat. The younger ones, though, to them, strife and bloodshed are as children's stories. They think themselves safe from these horrors and take the peace we now enjoy for granted. Still, others are unsatisfied with this quiet prosperity and crave the future of the Second Promise and visions. They become obsessed with innovations like the dirigibles that have made trade swift and easy. Then you have those like Havli, convinced that the First Promise's plans for conquest will afford them opportunities for great profit. But what about you, Mablu? Aren't you the younger generation? At least a year or two younger than me, I'd say. Oh, I was raised on the old tales. I've memorized the accounts of what it was like when the Yakoi ruled our village. That's why I offered to help. I want you to become Dawn Servant, to keep our nation from going back to the way it was. Well then, I guess I'd better make sure I win the contest. But the type of mezcal the saddle maker wants is so very expensive. Weren't we expecting to need 10,000 pel from the outset? Nothing's changed, we just seem to get on with it. I may not have a head for trade or the stomach for alpacas, but I won't give up with the piece of Tuliolo on the line. Then neither will I. We will make you Dawn Servant. Aiming for that 10,000 pel jug right away will only bring us failure and frustration. So let's first try exchanging the wool for anything even a touch more valuable. The trick is to find someone who needs alpaca wool and is willing to trade at a loss to acquire it. Someone who supports your bid for the throne, for instance. Oh yeah. Him. Of course, the Weaver. Bolnak was his name, I believe. He went out of his way to say he agreed with my vision, and he was here to buy wool. I think I remember the direction he was going, but for now, let's head back to that road where we first met him. Okay. I also don't know if my voice would hold out for the dungeon. I guess there's not a lot of reading for that, but... I am hoping to stream tomorrow. Tomorrow being Friday. So, today. I want to stream more of this. And start, like, really making progress. This is the spot. After Balnock talked to us, he walked off to the south. Then he was probably going to Ikuvlo's Inn. Most visitors to Wachin Palo end up staying there. Let's go and check, shall we? Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah, I didn't do this on stream. But when I was like just doing some like old raids and whatever, I looked at the inn that they give you into Liolo. And it is so nice. It's like the nicest inn I've ever seen in this game. What you selling? Oh, they're probably just gonna be doing... Yeah, I think it's a lot of just the same gear. Okay. Yeah, it is. Can I have that basket, Gwen? Yeah. Thanks. Now let's see if we can turn a profit. Bolnock, I'm glad we found you. Are you interested in making a trade? Third promise, you wish to do business with me? Might I ask what this is all about? I see. So the goal is to turn that basket of wool into a jug of 3-year-old premium mezcal. Then allow me to invest in your efforts. Thank you, buddy. I knew we could count on you. Peace in Chiral is what allows me to cross freely into the lands of my suppliers. Naturally, I would prefer that one pledge to preserve that peace win the throne. Thus do I humbly offer you this wool poncho, a small token that I pray contributes to your victory. Oh, that's fine craftsmanship. A garment like that would easily fetch 5 pel in the hundreds column. That's very generous, Bolnock. Thank you. I promise I won't let you down. I have every faith in you, third promise. May fortune bless your future dealings. Thank you. I can't believe you quadrupled your investment with your first deal. We're off to a spectacular start. Only because Gwen remembered our weaver friend. All I did was hand over the wool. That's not true. The connections you build with people are vital. This is one of the most fundamental precepts of trading, one which you've instinctively mastered. You think so? I know so. Now, let's take our 500 pel poncho and trade it for something even more valuable. Here, Gwen, you take the poncho. If I lost it somehow, Aaronville would never let me hear the end of it. I am the keeper of all things. Luckily, I have never misplaced anything in my life. Oh, this is great. So does the poncho just like show up? Yeah. Leveraging connections is a sound strategy, but we should also consider supply and demand. An individual in urgent need of a good poncho will offer more than a merchant simply looking to stock his shelves. That makes sense, but how do we know if someone needs a poncho? If they aren't wearing one, I guess? That's the obvious answer, isn't it? We look for a person without a poncho and hope they're eager to buy ours. Yeah, there you go. We find the demand for our supply. So, where should we begin our search for prospective buyers? There are any number of places, but we could do worse than starting right here at the inn. There might be interested travelers. Who here needs a poncho? A lot of Mamoja hardly wear anything to begin with. Those are probably lance guard or sellswords. Mamoja who soldier for a living prefer not to wear much above the waist. It hampers their movements. So even if they have bared shoulders, Mamoja carrying arms can be struck off the list. Oh gosh. Well, you've already got a poncho. You got stuff. I think maybe this one. Let's see. No coat or cloak, but also no weapon. Oh, we might have a winner. Ho there, friend. You're not a mercenary by trade, right? I was curious about your bold choice of dress, or a lack thereof. Oh, it was no choice of mine, believe me. I was attacked by beasts on the way here, and barely escaped with my scales intact. My coat was not so lucky. I'm actually a toolmaker from Tuligulaw, and was dressed quite smartly. All the better to show the Pelu I am a man who takes pride in his appearance, and therefore his work as well. But now look at me. Well, sir, this is your lucky day. I like Wuklamat just like trying to be a merchant. Just role-playing. What a splendid poncho. This would be the perfect replacement for the coat I lost. We'd be willing to part with it if you'd like to make a trade. For one of your fine tools, perhaps. What about this hatchet? I crafted it myself and will vouch for its quality. The blade looks sharp, the haft well made. I'd value it at 1 pel in the thousands column. Oh, from 500 to 1,000, we have a deal. Wonderful. A fine garment such as this should put me on even footing with any Pelu merchant. Like the eponymous owner of Miplu's mate garden, for one. Her field hands use hatchets to harvest the mate. And I thought to impress her with the tool I sold you. No matter, I have other wares to sell. Glad I am to have met you. Or glad I am to have helped you. Did you hear that? We've already found our next buyer. To Miplu's Mott Garden we go. Yes, but it's a fair distance on foot. We should take alpacas. Yes, we should. Yes, we should. These ones will be the calm type, right? I hope so. Well, made an excellent trade. I like the jingle that plays. Okay. Well done recognizing that toolmaker as a potential customer. If you've a mind to change professions, you'd make an excellent merchant. Good to know. I think I might already have this. Yeah. Before we get moving, you should be the one to hold this. Oh, anytime. With that, I suppose we should hop on the alpaca as Mablu was so kindly provided. Ready to go? Yep. Oh yeah, look at us go. We made it, and without a single smelly incident. I sent the alpacas back to XIV's inn, so we'll walk along the main road when we return to the village. Speaking of roads to travel, you were adopted by the Dawn Servant, weren't you, Third Promise? Thought I was. Then perhaps you understand. I was an orphan too, you see. I was an orphan too. You see, Tobley took me in. He took in all the ranch hands, actually. All of them? That's what she said. Yes, and everyone works hard at their chores, grateful for the opportunity to repay the head ledger's generosity. Yet here I am, the only one wanting to go off and be a merchant. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm telling you this. We need to keep trading things for your saddle if you're prepared for the feat of gold. As it's mate harvesting season, they can't have too many quality hatchets. Add to that Wiklamat's way with people, and we should have no trouble making a favorable deal. That's Miplu herself over there. Pass the hatchet to the Third Promise, and let's get to bargaining. We might call it after this quest. My voice is feeling it. I think we do have like a few more quests after this before just like this section wraps up. You have that little axe for me? Yeah. Thanks. Now to see what we can get for it. You're Miplu, the owner of these fields? I have a mind to trade if you're interested. Well, well, the third promise. I might be convinced to entertain a proposal. What do you have on offer? This hatchet, forged by a seasoned artisan. The razor edge of this exceptional tool will make light work of your crops. And if you call right now, we'll throw in a second one for half the price. The quality is acceptable, I suppose. I offer you a large sack of mate leaves in exchange. A sack of mate leaves is valued at 1 pel in the thousands column, the same price as the hatchet. This deal would bring us no closer to the mezcal. If I may, Mistress Miplu, it's harvesting season, is it not? Does not the demand for hatchets afford them a higher value? It is indeed the season, which is why I procured an ample batch of tools well in advance. She thought ahead. We've missed the window for demand. In that case, we'll have to fall back on connections. Think of it this way. A generous deal here will put you in the third promise's good graces. Surely that's worthy of consideration. I do not wish to give offense, but I must tell you that I stand with the second promise. His innovations will improve every aspect of our lives, I believe, including farming. And I will no longer have need of hatchets. I assure you that I have nothing but respect for Wuklamot. That is why I'm prepared to purchase a spare hatchet at a fair price. I suppose it is fair given your reasons, but we ourselves would be no better off for the transaction. How about this, then? If we were to help bring in your harvest, would you give us a better deal? As a matter of fact, I would. Until Kona's reforms come about, I can only use more hands in the field. Then you can go ahead and add our labor to the bargain. Added value to the tip the scales. How could I have forgotten one of the most basic rules of trading? You can rest here if you like, Moblu. Gwen and I have Mott together. Or Mott? I'm not sure. Oh no, I'm helping too. Off to the fields then, and mind you pick the healthy leaves. I'll take 5 good bundles from each of you. Oh, man. Okay. Let's get the leaves, and I think we'll... probably start wrapping up soon. But yeah, ideally, I'll stream today, later on. Do a long stream. And then maybe another one on Saturday too. Cause yeah, I would like to make some pretty significant headway into this expansion before the weekend's over. I see the ether current, or I saw it. You brought me some leaves then? Yeah. An acceptable harvest. We'll see how your companions fared before I make any decisions, though. Brought our share. Thank you, third promise. This is more than enough to hold up to your end of the bargain. Now it's time to honor mine. After adding the value of your labor to the price of the hatchet, I am prepared to offer you a full sack of our highest grade mott leaves. Mate. Premium mate. Bought at the shop, one sack of those leaves would cost no less than 5 pel in the thousands column. Heck yeah. Then we can bid farewell to this hatchet. I'll give it a good home. Talk of the contest aside, I'm glad we could come to a mutually agreeable trade. As am I. All the best with the rest of your harvest. Montbleu, what's wrong? It's as I was saying before, even after everything Tobley's done for me, I'm planning to abandon it all and become a merchant. But then I needed your help after forgetting a basic rule of trade. How can I expect Tobley to accept my decision then? Have you mentioned your plans? Not exactly. I want to prove I could succeed as a peddler before I declared my intentions. I seek to follow in my father's footsteps, but not because he expects it of me. I want to preserve Tyrell's peace, and becoming Dawn Servant happens to be the best way to do it. You should live a life of your own choosing, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tobley held the same opinion. So talk to him. You're right. It's better to find out for sure than worry over what he might say. Thank you for the advice. But first, we have a saddle to buy. I want that success under my belt so I can be sure of my decision. What's next then? We try to trade our tea leaves for something halfway to 10,000 pel? No, I think we're close enough now. I say we go straight for the premium mezcal. Oh, heck yeah. Bargain our way into double the value, eh? Think you can do it? Trust me, I will make this trade work. I admire you, Third Promise. That you're holding your own against such strong competition for the throne is inspiring. Am I really holding my own against Kona and Zeralja? I think you are. I mean, of course I am. I'm Wu Clamot of the Dawn's Promise, after all. She's so good. I like her a lot. I like her character a lot. Okay, though, yeah. I think we should wrap up. What's the next quest called? Premium deal. Alright. So close to level 93. And we're still in level 90 quest. Oh, shoot. We got some more side quests that popped up, too. So we'll do this too. Yeah. Okay. I think this is gonna call it for tonight. I need to rest my voice a bit. I don't know for sure, but I would like to stream today/tomorrow, like Friday. Might start a little earlier than normal, but we'll see. would like to do that. Would like to stream Saturday as well. It'll be more of this. I am loving this so far, and I can't wait to get further. We're still like early goings. Obviously, we're still level 90 quests, but hoping to pick up the pace a bit next couple of days. So that's what we'll be doing. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you again, Ryan and Liz, for the raids earlier. I really appreciate it, and thank you for the follows. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. Hope you had a good night. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely happy to. I don't know. This week has been insane. My brain is still just so much. But we're getting back to it. Hopefully my voice is still here tomorrow when I wake up, or today when I wake up. But yeah, that'll do it. Thank you again so much for raiding and hanging out. I really appreciate it. We're gonna send you to the stream ending screen, and then I'm gonna end, and then I'm gonna go to bed. Hopefully get lots of rest. Hope you have a good day, and we'll see you later. Bye.